Hi students, welcome to another episode of science class. So today we are going to discuss a new lesson, lesson 15. It is water, a precious resource. Water, a precious resource. We know about water. Water is a precious, fundamental and the most essential substance needed for all living organism. Water is precious, fundamental and the most essential substance. Water is precious, fundamental and the most essential substance needed for the existence of life on earth or for all living organisms. So we know that water is found abundantly on our planet Earth. Okay. We know about 2/3 of the earth is covered with the total surface of the earth is covered with water. And also we say that our earth is a blue planet. Our earth is a blue planet. Okay. Then about 2/3 of the total earth surface is covered with water. And also we say that we called it as our earth is a blue planet. Our earth is a blue planet. Why our earth is a blue? We say our earth is a blue planet. We know that our space our astronomers or our satellites, earth satellites take the photo of our planet earth from the space. We can see that the earth color is in blue. Why? Because the 2/3 of the earth surface, total surface is covered with water. Total surface is covered with water. Okay. Then we know that what are the peculiarities of water? Then we know that water is a transparent, odorless and tasteless inorganic substance. What are the properties of water? First one, it is transparent. Water is transparent. First one, it is transparent. Water is transparent. Then water, it is transparent. Then odorless. Water is transparent. Then odorless. Odorless means it have no smell. Then odorless. Then tasteless. Inorganic molecule component. And also it is an inorganic molecule component, that is hydrogen and oxygen. It is an inorganic molecular component of hydrogen. Molecular component of hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen and oxygen. It is a molecular formula for water, H2O. H2O. It is a molecular formula for water, H2O. Okay. So once again about water, we know water is a precious, fundamental and the most essential substance required for the existence of life on earth. And also we know that water is found naturally on the earth. And it is abundantly water is present on the earth's surface. And also what are the properties of water? They are water is transparent. Water is odorless. Water is transparent means we can see the other side of water from the opposite side of water. If you take a clean glass, then that glass is filled with water. Then keep it aside for some times. Then through if we see from one side of the glass to other side, we can see the other sides neatly. So we can say that it is transparent. It is transparent. Next, odorless, colorless, odorless and colorless. Odorless and colorless. It have no smell, it have no color for water, and it is tasteless. Tasteless. It have no taste for water, and also it is an inorganic molecular component of two atoms, that is hydrogen and oxygen. The molecular formula for water is H2O. What is the molecular formula for water? Is H2O. Okay. Then we know which are the different uses of water. Which are the different uses of water? Yes, we use water for different uses. First of all, for drinking, cleaning, bathing, washing, irrigation, for gardening, for cooking food, for transportation, for manufacturing goods, then for the recreational activities like swimming and water sports, then for generating power. For many purpose we use water. So we cannot survive without water. We cannot survive without and all the living organisms cannot survive without water, because water is the most essential factor needed for the existence of life on earth. Okay, so in this lesson we discuss more about water, and also water is a precious resource. From where we get this precious resource? We know that water is naturally present on the earth. Okay. Next one. So let's start our lesson. So do you know which day in an year we celebrate the World Water Day? March 22nd. We celebrate World Water Day. World Water Day. We celebrate on 22nd March, World Water Day. Okay. Then 22 March is celebrated as the World Water Day, or if in our schools or in all institutions make posters, slogans for conserving water, the precious resource water. Then and also some seminar, then the teachers give some assignments for about water to students, for getting the awareness about the usage of water. Okay, next one, an activity is given in your textbook, page number 194. Okay, all of you listen. Here, after that, Jai hai to kal hai. That means if you have water, you can think of the future. If you have water, you can think of the future. You are perhaps aware that on which day we celebrate World Water Day? Yes, on 22nd March. Our school celebrate Water Day. Okay, some posters, college of posters are given. You can save water, then my best friend water, every drop counts, save every drop of water. These are different posters made by the students of school. Okay, so children, you should please write some posters about water. Okay, in your notebook, back side of your notebook. Okay, next one, the amount of water here. Yes, the amount of water recommended by the United Nations for drinking, washing, cooking and maintaining proper hygiene is a minimum of 50 liters per person per day. 50 liters water. Okay, this amount is about 2.5 buckets of water per person per day. Is your family getting at least this much of water? No. Then we know that we cannot need this much of water for our daily needs. Okay. Then in some places there is an acute shortage of water. So we know that in some desert areas there is no proper rainfall. Due to that there is shortage of water is occur. So taps running dry, long queues for water. Then there is fights also arise. Then marches, protests for demand of water become water during summer seasons. Then these are the different problems faced by the shortage of due to the shortage of water. Next, an activity that is collect clippings from newspapers and magazines on the news items, articles and pictures related to water shortage. Then paste them in your scrapbook and share it with your friends. So children, you should take some collect clippings from newspapers and magazines about the shortage of water. Then you can paste it on a chart paper or you can make like an album. Okay. So next one. How much water is available? How much water is available? So we know that the picture of the earth taken from space. Why does it appear blue? Why does it appear blue? Because we know that our planet earth is considered as a blue planet. Why it is considered as a blue planet? Because about 71% of the earth's surface is covered with what? Water. Because our earth is round in shape. So it's 71% of the earth is covered with water. Covered with water. 71% of earth is covered with what? Water. Okay. Then all the water on the earth is contained in the seas, oceans, rivers, lakes, ice caps as groundwater and in the atmosphere. Most of this water is not fit for human consumption. Why it is not fit for human consumption? Because it contains so many impurities. Because it contains so many impurities like the intensity of minerals are sometimes increased. The amount of salt is also increased in the water of oceans, seas, rivers, etc. Okay. Then about 71% of the earth's surface is covered with water. About 71% of earth's surface is covered with what? Water. But these water, 71% of water is found in where? In the earth, yes, in oceans, seas, lakes, ponds, rivers, etc. But these water, amount of water is availability of water is not useful for the human consumption. Why it is not useful for the human consumption? Because it contains lots of impurities like a salt. We know that the sea water is salty water, so it is not useful for the human consumption like drinking, bathing, other uses. Next one. And also we know that water is also present in the under the earth and also it is present in the atmosphere in the vapor form. Okay, then the water that is fit for use is which type of water? That is fresh water. Only small amount of fresh water is available in the earth for human consumption. And also its shortage is increased day by day. Why? Because the number of people is increased. That means the rising up of population. That is due to the rising up of population. So the usage of water is also get increased. Okay. So another activity is given for you, that is activity 16.2. Okay, most of us assume water to be a limitless resource. Most of us assume water to be a limitless resource. Why water to be a limitless resource? So from this activity can you appreciate the actual amount of water available for human use? Does the finding okay, so all of you listen. What was that activity tells us about? First one, steps. Then some figure given, some remarks are given. First one, take a medium sized bucket and fill it up with water. It contains about 20 liters of water. Take a medium sized bucket and fill it up with water. It contains about 20 liters of water. Okay, all of you look that picture. Then remark, assume that this water represents all the water present on the earth. Okay, assume that this water represents all the water present on the earth. Okay, the 20 liters of water. Next, take a teaspoon of about 5 ml capacity and transfer 100 spoons of water from the bucket to a small container like a bath mug. Okay, then this represents total fresh water on the earth. Okay, next, from the bath mug transfer 30 spoon of water to a glass tumbler. Remark, this gives a measure of usable water. This gives a measure of usable water present as groundwater. We use groundwater nowadays. Next, finally take out a quarter spoonful of water from the mug. It represents all the water present in all the lakes and rivers of the world. All the water present in all the lakes and rivers of the world. The water left in the bucket represents the saline water. Saline water means the water contains salt in the seas, oceans and partially as groundwater. This water is not fit for human use. The water left in the bath mug represents the water which is present in the frozen form in glacier. Okay, next, ice caps and permanent snow. Again, not available readily. Okay, so from this we can say that water is not a limitless. Water is also a limitless resource. If we are not properly used it, we will face a great issue, great problem. Okay, so students, next one, forms of water. Do you know which are the different forms, different states of matter, or different forms of matter, different states of matter, yes, solid, liquid and gas. Solid, liquid and gas. Forms of water. First one, solid, liquid, gas. Solid, liquid and gas. Solid, liquid and gas. These are the different three forms of water. So we know about water cycle. The water changes into three forms and it completes a water cycle. It completes water cycle. Water cycle means the process of circulating in the movement of water between the water bodies, between the water bodies like lake, oceans, rivers, and ponds is called what? Water cycle. The process of circulating the movement of water between the water bodies like lakes, oceans, rivers and ponds is called water cycle. The movement of water between the water bodies like the water is changed into three different forms like a solid, liquid and a gas. What are the different forms of water? What are the states of matters? First one solid, liquid and gas. So the water is changed into the solid. The liquid form of water is changed into solid. If we freeze the water, then it changes into solid state. Then that solid is solid. That means the ice cubes are, we heat the ice cubes. What happens? It melts and again changed into liquid form. Then if we heat that liquid form again and again, what happens? That liquid is changed into in the vapor form or in the gaseous form. Gaseous form, that is in the form of vapor. In the form of vapor. Okay. Then how is water cycle takes place? We know from where we get water. We get water from rain. In which season we get rain heavily? That means during monsoon or during rainy season. Monsoon or rainy season we get rain. Lots of rain. So if we get lots of rain, what happens? Some water flows away from the ground. If the ground contains no vegetations or if the soil contains no, the soil does not have the ability to store water. In that situations, the water flows away away to the drains, or from the drains it flows to the lakes or rivers or in seas. Okay, then what happened is then the water present in the lakes, then ponds, rivers, oceans, etc. in during summer season, what happened? Yes, the water level is decreased. What is the process takes place there? Yes, evaporation. What do you mean by evaporation? What do you mean by evaporation? Evaporation means the process of conversion of liquid into vapor form. The process of conversion of liquid into vapor, that is called evaporation. Liquid into vapor form. Liquid to vapor. Liquid to vapor. So through evaporation, what happens? The water level in the ocean, seas, ponds, rivers are decreased due to evaporation. How is evaporation takes place? Yes, with the help of sunlight, the heat of sunlight, the water in the oceans, lakes, ponds, seas are gets changed into liquid form, is changed into vapor form, and that vapor is rises up, and at a sufficient height it gets cooler and cooler. It gets cooler and cooler. It changed into droplets of water. Then it floating in the air, atmospheric air, and then join the small droplets join together and form a big clouds and form big clouds. Then condense and it forms big clouds. Okay, then it again falls down on the earth like a rain, hail and snow. Okay, then we know that what we already know about water cycle. Next, all of you listen. Okay. Water can be in the water cycle. It can be found in all the three forms, that is solid, liquid, and gas. At any given time, somewhere on the earth, we can see in the three forms of water: the solid, liquid, and gas. Solid state of water we can see in the mountains, snow caps. Snow caps are the solid form of water. Snow caps are the solid form of water. The solid form means snow and ice. Example for the solid form of water is snow and ice. Then that is present It is present as ice caps at the poles of the earth. Then snow-covered mountains and glaciers are example for the solid form of water. Just name the some example for the solid form of water. So the examples is glaciers, then snow caps, snow-covered mountains, etc. were the example for the solid form of water. Then liquid water is present in where? Oceans, lakes, ponds, rivers, even underground. Next, the gaseous form is present in the atmosphere. Form water vapor present in the air around us. That means in the atmosphere. The continuous cycling of water among its three forms gives the total amount of water on the earth constant. Which process attain the stability of the total amount of water on the earth become constant is the water cycle. The water cycle completes, the water can moves to the three different forms of water. That means in the solid form, liquid form and gaseous form. Through gaseous form, and it completes the water cycle, and it will maintain the constancy of water available on the earth. Okay, next another activity is given. Another activity is given. Figure 6.5. 6.5 shows the water cycle. So, shows the process involved in the water cycle. They are labeled by numbers. Okay, first one, match these numbers with the process given in the jumbled form. Most towns and cities have water supply system maintained by the civic bodies. The water is drawn from nearby lakes, rivers, ponds or wells. The water is supplied through a network of pipes. Many villages do not have such water supply system. Their people fetch water directly from the sources. Of women and children have to walk several kilometers to fetch water. The children suffer a lot. They cannot attend school regularly since they spend hours in fetching for collecting water. Okay. Some jumbled is given. First one, groundwater. Some shows the process involved in the water cycle. Which are the different processes involved in the water cycle? Okay, which are the different processes involved in the water cycle? That process are given in the jumbled form. So, first one, groundwater. Second one, evaporation. Third one, condensation. Then fourth one, clouds. Fifth one, transpiration. Sixth one, infiltration. Seventh one, precipitation. 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 These are the different processes involved in the water cycle. Okay, first one, groundwater, evaporation, condensation, clouds, transpiration, infiltration, and precipitation. So first one, groundwater. How is groundwater formed? We know during rainy season, what happens in some area of lands absorb the rainwater under the layers of the earth. So it is considered as the groundwater. We collect the groundwater through hand pumps and through tube wells. Then evaporation, we know that evaporation takes place through in the atmosphere, from the atmosphere itself. That means from the water level in the rivers, ponds, lakes, oceans, etc., where the decreased due to what? Due to the overheat of sunlight, that is evaporation takes place. Then next, condensation. Then the water vapor formed due to evaporation rises up and it attained a sufficient height. What happened? It become cooler and cooler. It condensed with the water droplets present in the water vapor form condenses, and after the condensation it floats in the air like a small droplets. Then that small droplets combine to form what? Yes, clouds. Then again it falls on the earth, or again it precipitates like a rain, hail, or in the form of snow. Then that also again the water is lost or disappear through transpiration, like the leaves of the plants, release water to the atmosphere through transpiration process. Then infiltration means the rainwater infiltration means we know that inside the earth contains so many layers, some spaces, empty spaces is present in between the soils, and also there is a cracks also present in between the layers of the soils. In that layers can store rainwater, so that rainwater is seeping or flowing down into that spaces. So that process is called infiltration. So these are the different processes involved in water cycle. Process involved in water cycle. Involved in water cycle. Next one, groundwater as an important source of water. Next one, groundwater is an important source of water. So groundwater, in which way we get groundwater? In which way we get groundwater? So we know that during rainy season what happened? Yes, during rainy season we get lots of rain. Then that rainwater can be stored. The rainwater stored by the roots of the plants in some place contains vegetation. So with the help of that vegetation, the soil can absorb the water into the layers of the underground of earth. So the water is present in the underground of the earth is considered as the underground water. So if nowadays we consider as underground water is the important source of water for all human beings, because the availability of fresh water on the surface of the earth is decreased day by day due to the climatic changes. Okay, so then we know, all of you listen, groundwater as an important source of water. If we dig a hole in the ground near a water body, what we find? Yes, the soil contains moist. The moisture in the soil indicates the presence of underground water. The moisture in the soil indicates the presence of underground water. If we dig deeper and deeper, what happens? Yes, then we reach the level where all the space between the particles of the soil and the gaps between rocks are filled with water. That is called water table. That is called water table. What is water table? Water table means the space where this water table is an underground boundary between soil surface and the area where groundwater saturates space between sediments and the cracks of rocks. That is considered as water table. Okay, children. So let's wind up the class. What all things we learned today? We learned about the precious resource. We discussed about the precious resource. Water. So on which day we celebrate World Water Day on every year on 22nd March. Every year we celebrate World Water Day. Then we learn about how much water is available on here. Yes, 71% of the earth is covered with water, and also our earth is considered as a blue planet. Why? Because 71% of the earth is covered with water. So why our earth is considered as our earth is considered as what? A blue planet. Next we learned about the four different forms of water. There are three forms of water: solid, liquid and gaseous form. Where we can see the solid form of water in the snow, in the form of snow, ice and ice caps at the poles of mountains or the earth, or snow covered with the mountains in glaciers. We can see the solid form of water. Then in the liquid form of water we can see in the oceans, lakes, seas, underground, etc. Gaseous form we can see in the atmosphere. Okay, next we learn about water cycle and the different process included in the water cycle: groundwater, evaporation, condensation, clouds, transpiration, infiltration, then precipitation. These are the different processes involved in water cycle. Okay, okay children. So let's wind up the class. So see you in the next class. Okay, thank you.